So if you need more examples of vocabulary to play over the 4/7 and sharp 4/7 diminished chords in measures 5 and 6 of a jazz blues, watch this video for another great blues saxophone lick from Dexter Gordon. This is a great example of a blues lick for saxophone or any instrument. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to play it and why it works so well. Hi, I'm Donna from DonnaSchwartzMusic.com, the site to bring your playing and improvisation to the next level. And if you want more tips to bring your playing to the next level and licks to sound like a pro, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell to get notified when new videos are out. I've been on a Dexter Gordon binge lately. You can obviously tell. You can catch my other video lessons with licks from his solos on Thelonious Monk's Blue Monk in the description below. This version of Blue Monk is in concert F, so alto players, you're in the key of D, tenor, B-flat instruments, you're in the key of G. Now, in my last series of videos, I talked about the form and how this is a jazz blues, why it's a jazz blues, and I covered some cool licks from Dexter's third chorus in this tune. The lick from today's video comes from his second chorus around 1 minute and 30 seconds into the video. So the two chords that this lick that Dexter plays falls over are the 4/7 chord, the B-flat 7, concert B-flat, so it's B-flat, D, F, and A-flat. And the sharp 4, that means you raise it up a half step, the B diminished 7th. So the right hand stays the same, D, F, A flat, and I just go from B flat to B in the left hand. And that's it. Listen to the lick again before we look at it more deeply. All right, so here we are. Here's the lick right here. And this is going to be in concert pitch. Again, this is measures 5 and 6. So here's what's going on here, which is so cool. He's not starting on the root note. He's not even starting on a chord tone, okay? There's a downbeat rest. And then this is the, you'd notice the 6th. We can also call it the 13th, the extension. Okay, starts on the 13th. It leads to the flat 7th, that A flat. And he's building a chord up from there. He's building a chord from the 7th of this chord. Great tip for you. Okay, so when you're practicing your chords, your arpeggios, don't just build from the root. Build from the 3rd, 5th, and the lowered 7th. Okay, and look what happens here. We've got the flat 7, the 9th, the 11th. Okay, it's not raised like it often is in a dominant 7th chord. It's just as it is, which creates some tension for a very brief second, so it's okay. And then we've got the 13th again, and then the root. How cool is that? Right? Now, it gets even better. Okay, so we've got this great line leading up to the B flat. It goes the G to the B flat, G flat, which is a flat 13, to the B flat, and then this leads nicely to the 5th of this B diminished 7 chord, the F. What's really happening here, it's like you have two people playing at the same time. This one person is doing bum ba da ba do ba ba bum, and this other person's playing the high note, the B flat, bum bum bum. Okay, ba da ba da boo ba do ba da. I'm off in pitch. Okay, great line over here. Ba, 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 and check it out, it keeps going. Ba, bum, ba, 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 bum. This C sharp, well, actually, the E flat leads to the D. That's its goal. It's got to get to the D. The C sharp, its goal is to get to the D also. This is an enclosure right here. These two notes are the upper neighbor and the lower neighbor of the D. It's wrapping around it. I always think of like Pac-Man. And if I'm dating myself, I don't care. But it's like Pac-Man. It's just enveloping this D. This is the 3rd of this diminished 7 chord, which is great. Okay? And now here's the thing though. This last note is not B natural, it's B flat. Okay, that is tension, but you know what? It's okay because we're thinking about the line. We're thinking about the line that he's forming. It's a 2-measured little phrase over here. And it sounds better going instead of eek. I don't know, that doesn't sound so good. And also when you're dealing with the diminished 7th scale, you're going to have that note B flat in there. But again, we're thinking about the line. Okay, so now that we see where this line is going, right, we have this B flat goal, but we also have, you know, the chord tones are emphasized, right? If I start from here, the 7th is emphasized right over here. This is the 13th. It's not exactly in the triad or the 7th chord, but it's still going to sound good over here. This flat 13 again, we know why it's here. It's this whole thing leading down, and that's why it's going to sound really good. But you know what? This B flat is going to be so prominent, it's going to stick out, and that's why this works also. It just makes it sound really good. And all this stuff leads to the 5th of this B diminished 7th chord, and then we've got this enclosure wrapping around the D, the 3rd, and then we leave it on a tense note for this chord, but not a tense note for the line. So your ear is going to be wanting that B flat more than that B natural up there. The best thing that you can do, even though I'm showing this to you in concert pitch, really try to pick this line out by ear. That's the best way to help you to memorize it, to retain it, to remember it, and also to be able to internalize it so that maybe sometime in the future this type of line may come out in your playing as well. Now, if you're still unsure of how to form chords, check out my Practical Jazz Theory Primer, where I cover forming chords, scales, and modes, all the way up to understanding song forms. I'll put the link for that below. All right, now it's time for you to play it. Here's the lick again. Learning vocabulary is so important for understanding how to create lines over certain chord progressions. And eventually, the vocabulary you like the most will become part of your playing. You want to explore ways to vary the licks you learn, like this. But you don't want to use other people's licks all the time. It just doesn't sound right. It just doesn't sound like you. It's like putting together a speech and copy-pasting phrases from other people's speeches into your own. Instead, you want to use other people's licks as examples so you can create your own melodic solos for whatever style of music you play. And you know what? It's not a bad idea to study jazz lines when you like to play rock or pop, because many of those great pop solos were played by people like Michael Brecker, David Sanborn, Phil Woods, many others. Now, in addition to showing you how to listen to and study those awesome lines, I also cover how you can create your own lines to your favorite songs in my 3-step proven PAC system. That's part of my Improvisation Made Easy Masterclass. I'm going to put the link for that in the description below as well. Now, I've got so many more video lessons featuring licks from Dexter Gordon, Miles Davis, David Sanborn, Maceo Parker, Candy Dulfer, Chet Baker, many others. And when you become a patron and support my YouTube channel, well, first of all, thank you so much, but you get access to PDFs and backing tracks at different speeds for all those lessons, plus there's lessons on how to practice and mindset. Just go to patreon.com/Donna Schwartz Music for more info. Now, let me know how you did with this lick in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me. On that note, take care. Have a great day.